Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my makeup and I'm going to talk you guys through it. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I haven't really had much of an opportunity to do one, but since we are going out for dinner tonight, I had the privilege of dropping Melody off just a couple hours early with my in-laws so that I could get ready and take a little bit of extra time doing it. So I'm really excited to be doing this because I don't wear makeup a lot lately, and especially not like a full face, and if I am doing a full face, it's like I'm rushing through it. So this is gonna be kind of fun. I've got all my makeup laid out in front of me, and I'm gonna talk you guys through, and we can do a little bit of a chit chat with it, and I'm really excited. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. I already moisturized my face using the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I really like this moisturizer. I got this in my Ipsy bag, and yeah, I think it's really good. I applied it about 10-15 minutes ago maybe, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different today, and instead of doing my eyes first, I think I'm gonna move right onto my face, and then I'm gonna do my eyes last. And I'm excited because I'm gonna be using the new Carly Bible palette that I got from BH Cosmetics. So let's start by doing some foundation. The first copy. So I'm gonna be going to an old favorite of mine, which is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And I have it in 2 shades, but tonight I'm gonna be wearing the 2W1 Sand. I have 3W1 as well, but I'm a little bit pale right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I've been loving the Hard Candy foundation, but I'm all out of the shade that matches me the most, so I'm gonna use this one instead. I just like to give it a good shake because I think it is pretty liquidy, and then I'm just gonna dot it all over my face. I'm gonna blend it in with a flat top brush first, and then I'm gonna blend it in more with a beauty sponge. Let's do this. So to blend this in, I'm gonna be using my Beauty Junkees flat Kabuki brush. I focus mainly on stippling the foundation because I get way more coverage that way than if I just buff it. All right guys, so I also wanted to tell you that I'm starting a new job. I left my job at Mayo as a nurse back in May before I got sick because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And I planned on finding something else in the meantime, but with me getting really sick, finding a job kind of got put on the back burner. But I'm really excited. I'm starting there hopefully next week. And the only reason why I left my job at Mayo is at the clinic. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more foundation, you guys, just to get a little bit more coverage. The reason I left my job at the clinic, even though I loved it, were just because of the hours. It was a Monday through Friday, no nights, no weekends kind of job, no holidays, which was part of the reason why I picked it, and I loved it so much. But with a child, I really wanted to work opposite of Luke so that we didn't have to rely on daycare. And so what I'm gonna do is work at a long-term care facility, and that way I can pick up weekends, nights, whatever, evenings. And I'm not gonna have like a regular schedule. I'm just gonna be supplemental so I can work as much or basically as little as I want, and I'm really, really excited about it. So yeah, that's one of the updates. And then my health-wise, I'm hoping that if you don't follow my channel, I got really sick this summer and I had part of my colon removed, and now I'm gonna have it, my ostomy, because I have an ileostomy right now, that's scheduled to get reversed early 2016. January 5th actually, assuming that everything goes well, and we'll see if that actually happens or not. So after I've stippled the foundation, I'm just gonna take my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponge and pat that in a little bit. I'm gonna go on and apply some concealer now, and I'm using the Clinique, like I said, in light neutral. Hopefully this is a good match right now, because my eye bags are on another level. All right, before I blend that in entirely, I'm gonna get my powder ready. So I'm using the e.l.f. High Definition Powder. I don't have a ton of this left, but I think it's a really good powder. I think it's finely milled. It's probably not as good as some of the high-end powders. Oh my goodness, there's so much like poof and fallout from that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply where I had my concealer. All right, and then I'm gonna set the rest of my face just because I find that my other face powders, like my contour and my blush and my highlighter, blend a lot nicer and sit a lot nicer on my face if I set the rest of my face. Wow, those are a lot of repetitive words. If you don't want any extra coverage, then you could certainly use the e.l.f. powder or any other translucent powder, but I've actually been really liking the BH Cosmetics Matte Finish Press Powder. I have mine in the shade 230. I'm gonna take that with my Real Techniques powder brush tap off the excess. I don't need a ton of extra coverage, and then I'm just gonna mainly focus on pressing that anywhere that I didn't already set it with the e.l.f. powder. And then since I still have a fair amount of extra powder from using the sponge, I'm just gonna take my, oh goodness, e.l.f. small tapered brush and kind of sweep away any extra powder. I'm also gonna hit my eyelids because I did kind of set that with concealer, but did put concealer there, so I just kind of want to set that from preventing any creases. And also to create a good base for my shadows I'll put on later. Coffee. All right, next I'm gonna move on to brows, which is like the most dreaded thing ever, especially if I'm filming. So I probably will have to speed through a good chunk of this, so I'll kind of just tell you what I'm doing before, so you sort of have an idea of what I'm doing. I'm so happy finally this eyebrow has grown in, finally. Like it took a full year. I lost it after I gave birth to Melody, and then it did not start coming back. It took like a year and a half for it to grow back. But anyways, I'm so happy about it. I'm gonna use this, I think the brand is Chella, but I've sharpened it so much that I don't have the brand on there anymore. I got this in an Ipsy bag and I really like it. This is the Ivory lace highlighter crayon type thing, and I use it to kind of sculpt up my brows beforehand, and then I'll use the Anastasia Dip Brow to fill it in, and I'm using that in the shade dark brown. Okay, I realize that they probably look crazy overdone, but they always do until you have eye makeup on. So in order to blend out that lace color that I used to outline my brows, I'm just gonna use my Real Techniques shading brush and brush that away. Then I'm gonna use some eyebrow gel. This is the Elizabeth Mott Queen of the Fill Tinted Brow Gel in medium dark. I got this in an Ipsy bag too. Apparently I'm representing a lot of Ipsy products today, but that was unintentional. This actually does have a fair amount of pigment to it, so I have to be really careful, especially towards the front end of my brow, not to get it all over my skin. Okay, so then I'm gonna, I think, do my eye makeup, and then I will come back to the rest of my face. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit. Make sure that there isn't any major creasage on my eyes by just going back over some of that powder. And today I'm gonna be using, like I said before, the Carly Bible palette. This was only $12.50, and so far I'm actually really impressed with the pigment and the colors of these. I really like it. So yeah, I'm gonna start by applying a transition color, and for that I think I'm gonna just use, you don't really have a lot of options if you want a matte transition, so I'm just gonna use this one here. And I'm gonna be using the Luxie 205 tapered brush. Also got this brush in an Ipsy bag. I'm just gonna tap off some of the excess, and then I'll work that through my crease. All right, after I put that in my crease, I think I'm just gonna use the same brush, and I'm just gonna go for the corner color here, and it's sort of like a dark purpley color. You know what though, before I do that, I think I just wanna add a little bit more depth to my outer corner. So before I do that, I'm gonna take the e.l.f. Jumbo Shadow Stick, and this is in Midnight Rendezvous. I got two of these with an e.l.f. order, and they were both free, so we'll just try them out. And I'm just gonna stick to kind of the outer corner here, and then I'm gonna blend it out. To blend that out, I'm gonna use my Crease Shadow C47 brush. It's dual-ended, and I'm gonna take the pencil side. Oh my goodness, I got this in an Ipsy bag too. This is really totally not on purpose, guys. Now I'm gonna go back to the Carly Bible palette, and I'm gonna take this corner color, this like dark purpley one, and I'm gonna blend that over where I put the black. I wanna be a little bit more precise with the next color. So for that, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. crease brush. It's got a more tapered end there. If you can see that. And I'm gonna pick up the dark gray brown color that I was talking about. This is also matte. And I'm gonna work that through the upper portion of my crease from inner to outer corner. All right, now for the fun part, I'm gonna take, this is another, you can tell it's a different design. This is one of the brush that also comes in that Forever 21 kit that I was talking about. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the really pretty bronzy color that's in here, that's shimmery, and I'm gonna pat that all over my lid. I think that's really pretty. And then just to kind of blend out those edges, I'm gonna go back to the e.l.f. crease brush with no additional product. And I'm just gonna sweep that through my crease a little bit to soften up the edges. And I think that's it for the top lid. You know what, since I already did my face makeup, I can do this. I don't usually apply my face makeup first, so then I have to go back and do my lower lash line last. But since I already did my concealer and everything, I think I am gonna do my inner corner highlight. And for that, I'm just gonna take this light shimmery color and I'm gonna mix it with the highlight that's the lightest. And I'm gonna apply that underneath my brow bone and in the inner tear duct. Then I'm gonna do eyeliner, and this is, guys, like, seriously, I'm sort of embarrassed because I got both of these eyeliners in Ipsy bags. One is the Starlux Pro, it's starting to wear off. This is the Luxe Longwear eyeliner pen, and they are not joking. This is probably one of the longest wearing liquid eyeliners that I have. And then I also received this as a bonus in my last box, the Smashbox Always Sharp Crayon Kohl Waterproof in Raven, which is also black. This is the one where when you put the cap on and twist it, it automatically sharpens it for you each time. So I'm gonna be applying that in my inner corner, and I'm gonna apply this, a small wing, on my top lid. It's super creamy and easy to apply, but it's definitely not the blackest eyeliner I've ever used. All right, guys, lashes, no lashes, I don't know. I've worn these at a wedding this weekend and I really liked them. They're the Salon Perfectly Glamorous, and as you can tell, they are very full. I had to trim the edge because they were a little bit too long. Let's just do it, why not? I have all the time in the world to do my makeup today, so let's just go with it. I'm gonna use a Salon Perfect glue just because I think it came with a set that I got most recently and it works fine. I'm gonna move on to the rest of my face. And to contour, I'm gonna use my Benefit Hoola powder. I got all these blushes and face powders by Benefit in a holiday kit last year that I've talked about, so I'm just gonna be using the Hoola powder, and I'm gonna use my e.l.f. blending brush, Tapered, and it works well for contouring. And so I'm just gonna take that into the hollows of my cheeks. Take that on my forehead and around the perimeter of my face. I picked up one of their blushes. This is in Juicy Guava. It is a really pretty coral blush. I know that it's fall and winter, but I think this is a really flattering blush. So I'm gonna apply that, and it's pretty pigmented. And I'm gonna use my Up and Up blush brush. So I'm gonna tap into it a few times and then tap off the excess. And just go right above my contour. All right, for highlighter, I'm gonna take my, wherever it went, my e.l.f. small tapered brush again, and I'm gonna go into the first highlighting shade. It's so pretty. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it is really pretty. It's definitely like shimmery, but it's not like big chunks of glitter, which I really like. I think what I'm also gonna do is contour my nose just a little bit, more so to balance out all the other colors that I have going on the rest of my face. And then we can move on to my lip color. So I figured, since, even though I did like a bronzy fun color on my eyelids, it's not outrageously dark and it's fall time, so why not? I'm gonna be using my new Revlon Matte Ultra HD Matte Lip Color, and I'm gonna be using this in the color Addiction. It's a nice dark berry. I have worn this before. It's certainly not like completely matte, but it's matte enough, I guess. And to line my lips, I'm gonna use the Flower Line and Shine Lip Liner in Plum. You guys ever just like looked at yourself after you apply lip liner and just think you look like a crazy person? All right, guys, there it is. That's the finished look. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.